Everyone, so I have a review like the title says on this elf press powder. So the shade I have here is in buff, but I have used sand, and so this is like my third one. Thought I've had enough experience with this powder to do a review for you all, so if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this powder, please continue watching. So like I said, this is my third powder. I usually use sand, but what happened is that I think I finished those and I had buff. I decided to pull it out because it can work for me, which this is the color, but sand is my preferred color, so when I put it on I do warm up. But this is my third, so I've had a good enough experience to tell you more or less how it works. It's an inexpensive powder. It was $3 US. Now I have the website open and they have about 5 to 6 shades I'm seeing available, and the color I have here, like I said, is buff. So there's sand, buff, I think there's almond, and another set of color you get, and I'm barely seeing it here, but I think it's either 5.5 grams or 6.5 grams of product. Now it's about $3 US, and if you get one of their 50% off sale, or usually have 40, you get it less than $3, $3 US. It is less than what you get in a Jordana pressed powder, and I like the quality. Now this is a really good quality powder if you can get a shade to match you. I think if you're a darker skin tone, you're not going to, but if you're light to medium, you will definitely, maybe 1 or 2 shades darker than me, you would get a powder. So that's the main con with it. Now a lot of people said it was a dupe to the Studio Fix powder from MAC. I found that to be quite true. It's medium coverage, and even when I used my sand, I used to think of it being very comparable to my Studio Fix powder, and I never repurchased that powder up to now, because after I used this, I used a couple other powders, and this I will not say is a holy grail. I preferred my Jordana. Now this is milled finely. It's not a comparison video, but for those of you who use Jordana pressed powders, or if you are interested in Jordana pressed powder, I would say go for the Jordana because it's more product, and there's a wider range of shades. I think they have like 12, whereas this is about 6. And there are darker powders for darker skin tones with Jordana. But if you don't have Jordana, this is a good option for you. And if you don't want to get like a full medium coverage with your medium coverage foundation, like combine this with a medium coverage foundation, you're going to get very close to full coverage. I am using actually a medium coverage foundation, and I use this. I use it very lightly because it's a shade lighter than my complexion, so I have to warm up my face, and I've had on this makeup for 8+ hours already for the day, through sun, sweating and stuff. I have actually not touched up at all for this, for that whole period in time. So you can see it hold up pretty well. I use my Hard Candy Glamouflage primer, and I mix my Wet n Wild coverall, which a review is coming, with Maybelline and L'Oreal liquid foundation, and then I set it with this. Overall, I'm very pleased with it. If I did not meet Jordana pressed powder, this would definitely be a go-to. Like I said, this is my third one, so you know I've actually used it for a number of times and I absolutely enjoy it. It's just that it's less product than the Jordana powder. You get more for your bang, and they're around the same price range. And if you do get them on sale, if you do get a 50% off or 60% off, definitely grab this. It's going to be so worth it if you can get a shade. And for those of you who like to highlight with lighter powders and stuff, this is definitely an option. It's finely milled. The only thing I noticed recently is that there's a lot of kick up with when you use a fluffy brush. There's a lot of kick up, so you want to be careful with that. But I generally use a stiff brush. This is what the compact looks like. You get a nice little peep area here. You get a decent sized mirror. This is the product, and you do get at the bottom a little powder puff that just fell, and I did use it to touch up. I hardly use this. This is not a silicone kind of one. This is literally a powder puff, as against those other ones like you get the beauty blender and the wedges consistency. It's not like that. And so I actually use this. I usually buy the elf powder puffs to use with to when I use with these sort of powders. Anyhow, this is my take on it. I like it. I would give this a 4 to 5. If I didn't have my Jordana, this would definitely be a go-to, and I really enjoy it. If you are like an NC42 like I am, I would definitely suggest you get sand. That's like a perfect color for me. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and it's really inexpensive. If you can't get Jordana, definitely get this if you want a bang for your buck kind of product. This is a nice go-to. So until my next review, thank you guys for stopping by.